Where were the elbows from Corey? That's his most damaging weapon. I just feel like Corey Sandhagen, he's just a little nerd, not in a bad way, but he is. Like, when he's like patient while he's sitting on top, man, get vicious, man. Elbow him in the face from behind. You're defending on a single leg for so long. How about you hit him in the face a few times while you do that? The scramble's going to happen. Well, you're pausing on a single leg, like, no, everything has to be perfect. I need to get wrist control. Like, no. How about you slam some Curtis Blades, Jailton Almeida shots on him now and again, Corey just spamming left hooks. Dude, you know what? Yeah, I'll say it right now. Yes or no, chat? I rewatched the fight. Round 4, Corey became Jared Gordon against Paddy Pimblett. Did he not? The way he was going for those left hooks on Umar, I was like, are you fucking Jared Gordon against Paddy Pimblett? What the f*** are you doing? He was like, okay, low left hook, low left hook, low left hook. Just the same. Like, what happened to Corey Sandhagen, man? Real bad performance from him. Shockingly bad. Impression of Tony's Street Beef's intro. Yeah, I'm going to kick his... Dude, Tony isn't even... I feel bad. Is it weird that, like, it's so weird to me. I even said it in my every fight to make next video. I'm like, dude, I don't even trust Ferguson against Chase Hooper. I used to think he could beat Khabib 3 years ago. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I thought Ferguson could beat Khabib. Now I'm confident that Chase Hooper destroys him. Isn't that insane? Kind of insane. Tony's the type of guy to come back as a ref. That might be the perfect Ferguson transition. Being a ref or some shit. Or even like being the guy that separates fighters at a weigh-in, it almost. Like just something where he feels like he's the man still. But no, he would be a terrible ref. You know he would. He would be too brain damaged and he would make awful, awful decisions. Awful decisions. I can already see him. Do you think Topuria is more likely to school Holloway in a Volkanovski-esque performance as opposed to getting slumped to cold? I think Topuria, chat, I made this prediction. Let me know if you think I'm right or wrong. Topuria wins the first 3 rounds. Holloway wins the last 2 rounds. Topuria shows a sign of being human towards the late 4th, 5th round. Topuria wins 3-2. Holloway fans claim a robbery, demand an immediate rematch that never happens, delegitimize Ilia Topuria as champ, and then he rematches Volk. I bet you anything. Bet you anything. Reaction to Conor chugging a beer, I don't really care. He can do what he wants. Just get in the cage. To be honest with you, chat, yes or no, I don't really want McGregor back to see McGregor fight. You want to know why I want McGregor back? And this is such a hardcore MMA fan take. The reason I want McGregor back in the sport is so that we can get some fighters on his undercard. That's all I want. It's almost like I don't really want to see McGregor fight again. I just want a chance for fighters to be on the card. You know what I mean? I want a chance for fighters to be on the card underneath him because I know how much that'll do for them. Like, if they get Peyton Tabbitt on there, Ian Gary versus Covington, who else other than, like, Ian Gary, Colby Covington, Peyton Tabbitt, Adrian Yanez, Raul Rosas Jr. somewhere, maybe versus Cameron Simon himself, who knows? Himself, like he's a king. But yeah, but a bunch of those type of prospects would be good. Thank you for the $5 Canadian. I like the Pirate, but he is a gatekeeper at the best. I'm tired of people acting like he's the second coming. This is coming from a Dagestani Central Asia fan. Thank you for the $5 Canadian. I think Sharaputdin is not given anywhere near the same criticism that Bo Nickel gets, and he's been doing MMA for, again, Sharaputdin, I think his debut was in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 2017 he did amateur, actually. So he probably was training since a few years before the amateur debut that he had. When was his amateur debut? 2017? 2017. So he's been doing it way longer than... He's actually been doing it 4 times longer than Bo Nickel, and he looked shit in the Mokaev Alexiejczuk fight. He had good kicks, but it just doesn't seem like they have finishing potential, and if they don't, then they're useless. Against upper echelon opponents, of course. Thank you for the $2. Shara went from a guy who was shredded and finished almost everyone to some lean, flick-style kickboxer, clearly on source, on regional, and now he's not. True, actually. He was fucking shredded as fuck on the regional scene, if anyone... And also, yeah, Arrow 810. Seeing as you mentioned his physique on the regional scene, nipple diff. That's all I'm going to say about the fact that Shara came off roids once he joined the UFC. nipple diff. If you know, you know, dude. His nips, like, were crazy on the racial scene. I know it's weird to mention that, but if you look at pictures of him, like, they are insane. He did edit some of his pics, he did, but still, like, the nips are a big sign of, like, PED abuse, right? I think Chael always says that, you know, it starts at the shoulders and it goes to the nips. And Chael always mentions that's like a good sign of PED use. Other than the main event, UFC 305, what am I hyped about? Let me find out for you, bud. Gamrot Hooker. I like Gamrot. I think Gamrot's based Polski. I like Gamrot. Seeing if Li Jingliang wins, he probably won't. Other than that, no one else. Maybe the return of Jack Jenkins. He's got a pretty easy one against Herbert Burns, so he should win that. That's all I'm really interested in on the card. I don't think Tom Nolan's going to be anything. He seems very easily hit. Habib and the Daggies root for all the Russians like Piotr, but you know who claimed the Daggy ones and ruined them for everyone. But you know who's claimed the Daggy ones and ruined them for everyone. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I hate, that the Khabib fans are acting like, whoa, what's all the hostility towards us? I hate that. You know the ones that, the Dagestani fans and the Habib fans, all they want is their people to dominate the sport, and they get a kick out of it. And if they're acting like they don't, they're lying. You know they do. Even if they're not like DNA related to any of these Dagestanis, they're just Muslim. Like Abdul from Canada was the example I used. He's from fucking Saudi Arabia or some shit. Not a single good fighter in any human history ever. But still, like, they act like they don't want that. So I can want them to lose to the Western guys. Like, that's fine. That should be A-okay with them. But they act like, whoa, 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 why are you coming at us? This isn't a war. This isn't a battle. Yes, it is, man. It's beef, man. We're going to whoop their asses. Next wave's coming, dude. Once the Habib family lineage is gone, there's going to be a gap until their kids start fighting. There's going to be a decade gap, and that's where we fucking scoot back in. You know? Thoughts on Mokaev having no choice but to go to ONE FC to get kneed into oblivion by Thai fighters? I'm saying this right now, chat, and I'm going to make a video tomorrow. Resign Mohamed Mokaev. Let's go! Resign. Bring him back, dude. One fight contract. One fight only. Show us what you got. You want to keep your job? He's now the biggest flyweight name in the world. This would be one of the most hyped moments ever. He got cut. He begged to come back. They said, okay, one more fucking chance. A super fight of all magnitudes with Mokaev coming back to the UFC. He's against the company. Fuck the company above him. This guy's a danger. He got cut from this motherfucking company, dude. And now he's back to prove him wrong. The heel of the flyweight division that we've been needing. I know you don't agree with me because he's Muslim, but I don't care about that. I care about hype, dude. And right now, there ain't a single bit of hype at flyweight but Mokaev, and he ain't in the promotion anymore. Bring him back and give him the toughest test you possibly can, and then he gets a title shot if he looks good. This is his final chance. Can you imagine the aura as he walks out, knowing that he's on the chopping block if this ain't good? Come on, dude. We might get a chat. Okay, I know you're disagreeing with me. Let me win you over. We're probably going to cut him again. 2 Mokaev cuts from the UFC because he's boring again when he comes back. And if he comes back and loses, cut him again. We get a chance to cut Mokaev twice. Comes back and wins and it's boring, get out. Comes back and loses, laughing stock of the world, get out of here. But if he comes back and looks good, he's the biggest name in UFC flyweight history, bar Demetrius Johnson, and you can't deny that in any way. You can't deny it, dude. I'm seeing the tweets this guy's doing. They're getting millions of views. If Mokaev comes back and finishes a top 5 contender that they give him on a one-fight chance, he's the biggest flyweight name we've ever seen, bar Demetrius Johnson. I say bring him back. Lol, no. You guys are lame, dude. I want Mokaev in the UFC. Chat, you can't cut the Dagestanis. Then you look like a pussy. We have to beat their ass. And Mokaev's ass would get beat. Look how he looked against Manel Cap with one toe. Look how he looked against Alex Perez. He'd get his ass whooped by Urseg, by Pantoja. Let him. We can't do this thing of, oh, we had to cut him. Get rid of him. I know he's boring and that's the reason. I'm not saying they cut him because they don't want him to become champ, but he's boring. He's a problem for the UFC, all of this type of shit, you know? So bring him back and let's beat him. Bro, you used to say get them out of the UFC. I didn't realize how big of a deal him being cut would be. It's one of the biggest stories in the UFC. It's Mohamed Mokaev being cut from the UFC might legitimately be one of the biggest stories in flyweight history. Mokaev versus Aspinall for a UFC contract. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, dude. I'm making a video saying bring Mokaev back. I don't care what you guys say. I might do an interview with Mohamed Mokaev. I don't know. Now we're talking. Now you guys are going to start coming around to it. Imagine. I think that would be good. We unite with Mokaev to get him back in the UFC. Fuck what Dana wants, dude. I'm more against Dana than I am Mokaev right now, dude. I want Dana to fucking watch as Mokaev makes his walkout for his next UFC fight, dude. My gasp at the thought of the views that would get. That'd be sick. All right, I'll try and get Mokaev on. We'll see. I'll make a video first and we'll see if he picks it up. But I'm not doing the video just to get him on. I just had that organic idea now. But I do want him back in the UFC. Chat, I think it's hype. Like, no one is talking about any flyweight. Name a flyweight people are talking about, man. It's Mokaev and no one else. No one's talking about any other flyweight. If you want the division to be good, I don't care if he's that boring. Someone knock him out then. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. He's a boring fucking fighter. I hope he gets slept. Let him get slept, man. He would do. You guys are acting like people that know he would be a dominant champion and don't want to admit it. That's why you want him out of the UFC. I know he would lose. I want him back so we can watch him lose. Please. Because if he leaves, they're going to do, oh, there's a beat thing. Oh, the biggest what if ever. I hate the what ifs. I don't want to know what if. I want to know what. And that what will be him being slept live on pay-per-view in his return fight and getting cut straight afterwards. I don't like the fact that he was cut after going 7-0. He ain't clapping with you now. He will, because it will show that the right thing is to have Mokaev back in the UFC. Even his sworn enemy, the MMA guru, is preaching what needs to happen. And that would prove to Dana how much he should be back in the UFC. I insult MMA Central to bring back the intro, please. You want me to fucking terminate your channel, do you?